So I've had this drone now, the Dji Mavic 3, for 4 months, and in today's video I'm going to break down whether I actually recommend it or not. Let's go. Okay, let's get straight into this. So the Dji Mavic 3 is the flagship drone by DJI, and it had the most terrible of starts. Firmware was missing, the drone was crashing into things because it was really aggressive in the way it used to fly. Features were missing. It was a terrible start. But that was in 2021. And now in March of 2022, things are a lot better. Okay, firstly, the number one thing, this camera. This is like having a professional grade camera strapped to the front of this drone. The dynamic range and attention to detail is absolutely breathtaking. You can get stunning sunrise shots, nighttime shots. The detail coming from this video on here is brilliant. Now you can shoot in D-Log, but you can also shoot in just normal. Now I've been trying to compare the two of them and decide which one I want to shoot in the most. I like both. But the extra effort of having to shoot in D-Log and then grade afterwards, compared to just shooting in normal with the Hasselblad colours that come from here, the video looks absolutely breathtaking. So just take a look at these clips on here now and see the difference between D-Log, once it's graded, compared to just a normal H.265 video that I shoot in. It's absolutely remarkable. So what's actually improved on this? So the active track was a complete mess when this drone first came out. Now this has had a big improvement with the last firmware update, and now the active track is so much better. I'll put some clips over now, but just look how much detail there is in the shots. You can now be further away, be higher away, and it keeps lock on that subject so much better. You can also zoom in now on active track, and I've been testing this on multiple different scenarios and different locations. The active track is a dream, especially being able to just swing the drone around to different angles with the on-screen display. The active track is brilliant on here, a fantastic feature. And if you think that quality was good, that is after the YouTube compression on this video, and I'm damn sure that some of you are watching this video in 480p because of the YouTube settings. So by seeing this yourself on screen, it's even better. Now all them shots were taken on an ND filter, so I always use these, and the sharpness and the quality is really good, and that was all taken in that normal color profile. Now the slow-mo on here is also fantastic. So I switched up locations and I was using the 4K 120. So I've been able to shoot in 4K, but at 120 frames per second allows you to slow that footage right down, but also get fantastic quality. So I took this drone with me and I switched it into 4K 120 on a day out with the kids, and I was able to use this just hovering in place and get some really nice slow-mo shots of the kids swinging on the trees. And then I took this to the beach, was high up, and able to use 4K 120 and then slow it down. So just go and take a look at this beach shot over the waves. Brilliant. So another fantastic feature on this drone is this battery, this huge battery on here. And this is a complete game changer. So I use this drone in different places, different locations, switching it up on one battery. Now the battery life on here is advertised around 45 minutes. Now in real world I get between 35 and 40 on average, and that's more than enough. That enables me to then go and get all these different shots, and I've still got battery life left. And then often I'm thinking, what should I even go out and film now? Now MASTERSHOTS has also improved on here. Now I've never been the biggest fan of MASTERSHOTS because it used to be a complete battery drain. We got it on the DJI Air 2S, then it came over to the Mavic 3, and it's a compilation of different quick shots. It is alright to have. I do like teaching you these so you don't have to rely on it, but I never used it because it just drained so much battery. but I've used it on this trip now and the MASTERSHOTS is much better. Not only does it actually improve the editing it does, so the actual cuts and the jump cuts, it all does, it is really nice and streamlined now, but it doesn't use as much battery, so it's actually improved a lot. So MASTERSHOTS, big thumbs up there. Now, one of the problems people are having this drone, and we still don't really know what it is this, the zoom camera. Is it a zoom camera or is it an explorer mode? We don't really know, but what we do know is it's been improved. So on the main camera, we've now got the option to have 2x zoom, which is really good. But on this guy here, the telephoto camera, we still have the option to zoom up to 28 times, but it's better. So it's been completely refined. So the image once zoomed in is now sharper and there's less noise. So a zoom up to 7 times is optical. So 7 times zoom, I find it is fantastic. But if you need to actually get further away, that 28 times zoom, you can really get close to something. And the quality isn't great, 28 times zoom. We don't expect it to be, but it's better. I wouldn't say it's usable, stick to 7 times zoom, but that 7 times zoom is really nice. And I touched on it before, but we can now finally zoom in on active track. So we couldn't before. So the active track was so close to you. It was like, if you've ever been away and then you come back and your cat is all over you, I'm like, leave me alone. Well, now you can actually be further away and then mix it up, mix your shots up. So you can get a long distance shot and then you can press 2x zoom in active track and it will zoom in and that quality is still great. And also, let's not forget that these were in really strong winds. We weren't exactly going very slow. That drone is able to keep us in focus, tracked, and look at that quality. I want to quickly touch on this, and this is the RC Pro. So I'm going to be reviewing this really soon, so I won't go into all the features of this, but this was a joy to fly it with the Mavic 3. So it's compatible with the Mavic 3, the Mavic 3 Cine, and the DJI Air 2S. So I'll leave all the review side of it to start with. But the reason why I picked this up is that last year, the OGs will remember the issues I was having flying with my smartphone. And in England, we don't have a lot of hot weather, but we do have some. And when it's hot, your phone will dim and the screen isn't very bright. So although I could see the drone up there, if I'm trying to do meticulous flying moves on here and the phone goes dim, because it does, I'm like, where is this? Oh, I can't see anything, what's going on? It was a complete disaster and I lost and I didn't be able to get a lot of good shots because the phone went dim. So having this being 1,000 nits of sustained brightness, you know, this was really nice to actually use for this occasion. I'll talk about this more on the next video. So it had an absolute terrible start, terrible press, but right now this is an absolute joy to fly. But the GPS issue, that GPS locking issue onto the satellites is still there at the moment and it's a pain in the arse. You'll get to that location, you might have to wait 5 or 10 minutes to actually get satellite lock. Now I've got a tip for you to make it a lot faster. What I found is when you get to that location, you know, you've got your drone ready, just take off and hover about a meter up, meter to 2 meters up, just in place in front of you. And then normally when I've been doing that, I've been getting lock in about a minute. So perfect, GPS lock, got my home point set, I'm away, just by doing that. So if you're having massive issues with the GPS lock, give that a try. So the question is, do I recommend this? Should you actually buy one? Well, do you need a drone or do you want a drone? So, you know, if you can go out and buy one, if, you know, you've got permission to go out and buy one, if you've got permission from the person holding the wallet, and you want the best possible quality from a drone, go and get it. If you make money from your drone, if it's your career, it's your job, then go out and get it. It's a no-brainer. But if you're a hobbyist and you want a really good drone, then the DJI Air 2S is still a really good drone that I do recommend still. I had that drone, I sold it to get this. Now the DJI Air 2S is great. For the price point, you're getting a lot of technology for that price point. So for hobbyists, for someone who's not ready to spend more on this, then the DJI Air 2S is a really good choice. But it comes with a few caveats. So the DJI Air 2S, namely, the battery life wasn't very good. I was getting less battery life on that than the Mini 2. The camera is fantastic on the DJI Air 2S, but obviously it's not going to be as good as this. Didn't have side sensors, so you had to be careful when you were flying this because it had no side obstacle sensors on it. And then the active track was all right, yeah, it was good, but it also didn't have the on-screen switching, so you could move to different locations on different angles like you can on here with that on-screen display. But overall, yeah, DJI Air2S, a really good drone, but it doesn't match this. This is clearly better now. Back then in December, November, I was considering selling this for sure, but I'm so glad I didn't. So if you can justify the extra cost to yourself or that wallet holder, then you're going to get the best possible quality. I just got the standard package, and I'm glad I did, because I've just got the one battery. I still haven't bought another battery because it's more than enough. You can get a car charger or something when you're out and about. I will pick up more batteries as I go along, but right now I can get everything done in just that one battery. The battery life on here is brilliant. So the standard package is the cheapest. It's probably got more accessible to a lot more people, and it's more than enough. So I was frustrated when this came out, just like you guys, with the firmware on here, and I'll let you guys know. I'm glad I didn't sell it. The drone is miles better now, that firmware is better, and I think it'll just constantly improve as well with firmware updates. I think the GPS situation could be solved with firmware, but if not, try that little tip I told you before, and that will help you out as well. So let me know what you think. Are you going to be picking one of these up? Are you going to give it a completely wide berth? Do you hate this drone? Do you love it? Do you want it? Have you got some convincing to do to your wallet holder? Then let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.